What is up, everybody? I'm giving away cash. I'm giving away this iPad at the end. But more importantly, I got David Mills on here. We're going to be talking about how he's making $11,000 a day profit online with OMG machines. And really, this is, by the way, behind the scenes for my Tai Lopez show. So I'm going to do the formal intro for my Tai Lopez show. All right, everybody, welcome to the Tai Lopez show. I've got David Mills here. We're going to be talking about how he's making over $11,000 a day profit in the last 30 days with OMG machines. He owns a business that's doing over 40 million bucks a year, or has done over 40 million in the last few years. And we're doing a practical brain dump. I told him we got 18 minutes, just like a TEDx talk. I want to do a brain dump of the massive amount of practical knowledge, how to build a website, how to rank on Google. So when people type in your business, it shows. Like, this is like the power 18 minutes. You ready for that, David?
All right, I will.
David's soft-spoken. Yeah. So I'm gonna start. We're gonna go back and forth. I'll be giving away cash during this. I'll be giving away an iPad at the end. So number one way to build a website and get online making money. Number one practical tip I have. Let's see if we can do 18 in 18 minutes. This is going to be a challenge for us. Number one, go to ClickFunnels, sign up, or Shopify, and build a website, even if it's the worst website you've ever built, just to get the hang of it. Remember this. Your first attempt should be the worst. If you want to date somebody, my dad was really good at talking to women, my real dad. I didn't grow up with him. And I found out something about my dad because I didn't grow up with him, but when I was older, I started hanging out with him. He talked to every woman he ever met. He would say, hello, how you doing? Just like casually. And then when there was that one girl that he was really attracted to, it came off as natural because he had already done it before. So for those of you who are like, oh, I'm not going to launch a website till I have my perfect idea. No, you don't want to launch with the perfect idea. You want to have already built 20 websites before you get to the one good one, and then you'll be good at it. So build something now on ClickFunnels or Shopify. Just get something up. It could be your worst idea ever. Create momentum. That's number one, practical power hour. What's your number two practical skill to making money online? You're making $11,000 a day profit online. What should somebody know who's listening in?
Well, it goes along with what you're saying. I think that only maybe in my experience about, I would say 1% of entrepreneurs realize how important organic traffic that's going to come in from search engines naturally.
Yep.
And what you're saying about get going, what you said about your dad talking to all kinds of women so that when the right people, the one he wanted came around, he was ready. If you're trying to only pay for advertising,
yep,
you need to succeed so fast. Because your money's going out, right?
Okay.
And when you have organic visitors coming to your website naturally, you can stink.
Yep.
For a while. But you're talking to people nonstop, and then you have the incentive, and it's free once you set it up.
So how can people get, when, let's say you're selling shoes online, t-shirts online,
yeah,
you're selling something online. What you want is when people type in t-shirt, let's say I know a kid, he's under 25, he sells t-shirts, and his niche is he just makes t-shirts around cities. So he'll be like, I love Atlanta, or I love Memphis, Tennessee, okay? So he wants it when people type in, Atlanta t-shirts, he ranks number one on Google. How do you start doing that? What's a practical tip? Do you just build a website and automatically show up number one? Do you start getting links? Do you do PR? Do you do YouTube videos? What's your favorite technique?
All right. We made this easy. The most practical thing is I've had my guys who do this day in and day out for their own agencies do a workshop. We can tell people at the end, but I have it all out for people.
Okay.
I'll give you a direct answer, but you need to win, right? Like with Google, one of the best places to hide a dead body is like on page 2 of Google, right? So yes, you want to get on page 1. And so one of the most practical things is to know, you need to win. And so for a relatively easy keyword, we've given a workshop that will totally get people started and let them win for something like that.
So what do you define as winning? When you say win?
Winning means you're on page 1, right? You want to get on page 1 for a term
yes,
that is going to be relevant, that people are going to be typing in for your particular business.
Yes. So like let's say for Tai Lopez, I want to rank number 1. I'll give you guys one practical skill, and I want to get your opinion on this. Buy the domain name that matches. So I bought tailopez.com. And Google gives some weight. Some SEO experts think that they don't give much weight to that anymore. It's called basically direct matching domain names.
Yeah,
so
exact
if
match
you want to sell this jacket, this suede jacket, you would try to buy like buyssuedejackets.com. And do you think Google still gives ranking and importance to that? I think they still do a little bit.
Yeah, well, I don't have to guess. Greg Morrison, who we built our coaching around, he's the one that really keeps up with the search engine optimization, the keeping on top of research. And he has over 1,000 websites. He tracks tens of thousands of keywords. And around August 27th, I think it was, of this year, he tracks he's figured out a few key factors that really matter. One of them is the domain name along with the title of your page, the URL of your page, if you know what that is.
The meta title, yep.
Yeah. And right around this year, right around August, it used to be a huge factor. Then it went away as a huge factor for a little over a year, I believe.
Yeah.
And then right around August 27th, he can show you graphs. He actually does on a webinar we also have in our free area.
Yeah.
Where right at that day, he'll show you websites that he's tracking shoot up. And it's those exact match domains. So
exact matching domains.
More.
So let me put tip number 2. We're giving 18 practical tips to making money online. Tip number 2, whatever you're selling, try to buy a domain name, even if it's 2, 3, 4 words that matches what people are going to type in. If you want to sell dog beds.
People ask, can I add a word? And yes, you can add a word that, whatever word you want in order to get the domain that's open. I wouldn't use dashes. Sometimes people ask, do I use hyphens?
Yeah, don't use dashes. And don't.
Yeah, like Tai Lopez website, Tai Lopez following.com, whatever. You just add another word if you want to go for Tai Lopez.
Yeah, if you can't buy it.
If you're looking. Yeah.
Tip number 3, practical tip I'll get. To buy the domain names, I buy either GoDaddy or Namecheap. Okay, a little practical tip. Namecheap, some of my friends who are like, super hacker guys, they like Namecheap. They say it's better than GoDaddy, has better privacy. You get free privacy protection. By the way, I'm going to give away this first $100. PayPal into the first person to answer this question. What is the definition of winning on Google that David Mills just gave? What's the definition of winning? The third person who says it is getting this $100. He gave a specific definition of winning on Google. All right, the first person I see, Mateen on YouTube. Let's see, anybody on Facebook? Twitter, I see. There we go. Getting number 1 spot. No. R. Bennett 05. Okay, the next person I see there, that guy Colvin on Instagram, being on the first page. That's winning. So practical tip, we give you 3. We're trying to get to 18 in 18 minutes. We got 11 minutes left. What's another practical thing? A website that people can go to, a tool they can use that has helped you make over $11,000 a day and $40 million with your OMG machine company.
You want to get relevant links, right? Again, this is described particularly well by people that do this. I'm more design the business, and I'm more of an accelerated learning success guy.
Yep.
Right, that kind of built that around.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about speed reading in a second.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, you need to get links. You want to get them on ideally from websites that are relevant to your same niche. If you just get links on a website that's not so relevant, and if the article's relevant, that's better. If there's anything linking into the article that's linking to you, if that's all relevant to what you're talking about, the t-shirts in a particular city, then that's going to be ideal. But there's also percentages that you want to get straight. You kind of get down the rabbit hole a little bit.
Yeah, it's very complicated because Google likes to trick you. They like to change the algorithm. So basically what he's saying is the way that Google was built back starting in 2000, over 15 years ago, the way Google built it, Sergey Brin, Larry Page, they basically said, in order to know what website is the best for people typing, we're going to look at social proof. Do other people, like the New York Times, like Mashable, like National Geographic, do they link to you? Now, some of you already know this. This is more beginner SEO, but we're doing a power 18 minutes. Some of this stuff's for beginners. Even if you're advanced watching this, what is the most powerful site that links to your website? If your answer is, some little blog that gets 3 views per year from Samoa links to you, that's not going to help you very much. If you could get, let's say one of the highest, let's say National Geographic. Let's say you have a scientific product, Quest bars. My buddy, I was at the Clippers game. He sells Quest bar protein bars. and he sells 1.5 million Quest bars a day. So if Quest Bar's website had a link to it from National Geographic talking about protein and agriculture, that would count a lot, because everybody knows National Geographic is a very powerful, reputable website. So you have to, one of the simplest ways that you can do this is really reaching out to the top 20 websites, contacting them and saying, hey, can I interview you and you interview me? And if you contact 20 or 30 of them, you'll get one. And one link from a good, powerful website will help you a ton. Like, I have links from Forbes to me, Entrepreneur Magazine, entrepreneur.com, their online links to me. And those are very reputable sites. So keep that in mind. Not all links are the same. Now, I'm going to ask you, because you're an expert on speed reading, learning languages, all that stuff. What's a practical tip for people listening that they can read quicker? Now we're switching subjects from making money online directly to learning how to read so that you can make more money online. What's the number one thing people do wrong that they read too slow?
The way to practice is to look for, I don't have a specific course I recommend these days. I did this about 10 years ago. But the way to practice is something that's going to help pace you faster, and just practice reading something, like reading a novel online, and with something that'll help automatically, like a sound or something that'll help you read faster and faster. And what that's going to do, there's a couple things that can happen. Essentially, your brain and your eyes and your mind are totally capable of, I'm simplifying it, but seeing like 3 words at once, like the green tree instead of the. Normal, or basically bad readers, but normal readers, like will see and process like the separately, and then green separately, tree separately.
Green tree.
Yeah, and you can automatically train your mind by practicing, but by practicing reading basically faster with something that paces you is pretty key for that. But
are there online pacing tools like that?
It's like speed reading. Yeah.
Are there online pacing tools like that people can use?
I don't have one. I should have one for questions like this, but I don't have one at my fingertips to specifically recommend. But I want to tell people what to look for at least, and that way, and why it's realistic. See, people associate speed reading. Even that word is ridiculous. If we called it normal reading, then people would all learn to do it, because it would be a standard. It would be normal, right?
Yes.
Everyone wants to, do what's normal, but it's not scanning. Your mind can actually comprehend better and faster if you're seeing like the green tree all at once. But it's not realistic to see like a whole line at once. You can fool yourself into believing it, and maybe there's a few people out there, maybe there's some savants, whatever. But I've worked with a lot of people with this over a decade in my 20s, and what's realistic is to see about like 3 words. There's about 10 words on a line.
Okay.
And not think you can see it all, not think you can see 10 lines at once, but that you're going to realistically be able to increase your reading rate by about 4 times with a little bit better comprehension.
So the next practical tip, we're on number 4, is scan at least 3 words when you read. I'll give you a next one along that line. Can you hand me a book? Here's a book. One of the things you can do if you don't see an online pacing is to pace with your hand. So you basically take a book, you take your finger, or you can take a bookmark. Let's do it with money. Here's a stack of 10 G's. You take this stack of $10,000 and you basically set a set pace that you won't go faster or slower.
I would maybe move your hand across, or a pointer across the line even.
10 grand will remind you there's money.
2 or 3 times faster. And you have to let go. You have to be okay with not feeling like you got everything at first.
See how I'm doing that?
That's practice. That's not speed reading when you're practicing. Does that make sense? When you're practicing something, you obviously have to let go of being a master at it.
See that,
right?
Guys?
While you're but in about a month, you can have real significant improvement.
So that's practical tip number 5. You just somebody said holds the book upside down. That's not upside down, Michael Stacy. I love people online who do snarky comments, but they're wrong. I'm like, maybe
there's some gurus that have recommended that. I'm not really into these ways to like allegedly see the whole page at once, see 10 pages at once, whatever. In teaching it, I mean, what's duplicatable, repeatable, and realistic that I personally seen over and over. I can't tell you what some savant in India or wherever has done. I'm not going to say he has or hasn't done what he's claimed, but I've repeated 3 to 5 times with a little bit better comprehension with hundreds of people.
Good. Okay, next practical tip. So David Mills gave you one. Let's talk about learning 4 languages. One of your kids is under 5 years old and knows 4 different languages. What languages do they know, and what's a practical tip for somebody listening? Because, by the way, you will make more money. It's been proven over and over if you speak more languages. You have more, like, for example, you're drop shipping from China, you can negotiate better if you know a little bit of Chinese. Even if you don't know a lot, enough to open a conversation, put people at ease. Negotiation and business goes partly by whether they like you, whether they understand you. So what's a real practical, simple technique to learning a language relatively quickly?
Let me first answer what I have the particular expertise in, which is with children. There's actually a window, and this happens in life where there's time. If you get the timing right, things are incredibly easier.
Yes.
If you know how to look for it. With children, there's a window up until about 6 years old where memories get imprinted and kind of foundations get imprinted differently than after their personality develops. It's kind of like a cap on a well around that time. They have more ability to control their emotions, but they can't learn languages as fast. Of course, you can totally learn languages later.
Yes.
But in one sense, the same technique will be relevant, which is we didn't push him, we didn't sit him down and make him work. He's 5. I have one son who's 5, and he's also fluent at reading in those languages. And you create a context. We have thousands of books in our house all around. We excitedly read to him, show him the words. A lot of kids just aren't exposed to that. And we have a person come, and again, you can do this when you're older too. But we have a person come once a week for each the 2 languages that we don't speak or that my wife doesn't speak, and just talk to me that language. What's interesting is we had to go through like 15 people, say, for Chinese before they would just do what I asked. It's that counterintuitive to never speak English, only speak Chinese. It doesn't matter if he doesn't understand you at first, and also don't teach him lessons like the colors and the animals. Just play with him and do what he wants. Because think about it, you're a 4-year-old, someone's playing with you, they only speak Chinese. All of a sudden it becomes so important to speak Chinese, and then you just pick it up.
Yeah. So practical tip, if you want to learn a language, full immersion. Write that down.
And the point of immersion is importance. It has to feel important subconsciously somehow.
Yes,
if
be
you're
something
a guy,
you
get
like
a hot girl to only speak to you in one language. Pay her
That's
if you want.
true.
But that would literally be my top suggestion to a guy would be get a hot girl, pay her, for the language.
Pay her enough. We're talking about the language, by the way, to pay. I had a friend in Czech Republic. Czech is one of the hardest languages to learn from scratch as an adult. He was completely fluent in Czech. And I asked him what happened. He said, I was visiting Czech Republic. He was from London. And he said he met this girl, the love of his life, this beautiful girl. And he said within 6 months of her not speaking, exactly like you said. So tip number 6 was full immersion. Tip number 7, practical tip to learning a language to increase your fluidity in the world, your potential income, your potential opportunities, is you have to be learning from somebody in a context that you care about. Since my friend cared about this girl, and she actually, it was immersion because she didn't speak English very well. So he said to her, I'm going to learn it. Within 6 months, he was completely fluent as an adult, from 0 to not 100% fluent, but he was like 80% fluent in Czech within 6 months because the context
it's the
was
importance. Right. It's not like the lessons. It's not even the immersion itself. It's the importance to your subconscious. Your brain can learn unbelievable amounts. It's the easiest thing for your brain to learn, but it has to figure out what's important. We have so much information all the time coming at us, and it has to delete most of it, or else we go crazy. So you have to give it the idea that it's important, and that's what does it.
And just so you guys know, the way that they teach in schools now is idiotic. My grandma taught German, and she's like, never teach grammar to start. Number 1, don't be like, the gerund in German is blah, blah, blah. Number 2, everybody learns Spanish, learns phrases that don't matter, like la biblioteca or something like that. No one even goes to libraries anymore. No offense, people get offended when I say that. I like books, but trust me. You go to a library in the world. Why are you teaching la biblioteca? Teach something, like you said, practical, like in Spanish, like ¿qué tal?, which is like, hey, what's up? Or, if you're Mexican, órale. No, not that. But the point is, learn the slang, learn the street language, learn what you can go to a country and go in there and immediately use. These elementary schools burning people out, teaching them just stuff that people don't even say in English. I mean, this curriculum should be set on fire. Anyway, let's go back to next practical tip. I'm going to give one, and then I'm going to go back to you. We're going to get 10. I don't think we're going to get 18 in 18 minutes. We're already a minute over. Okay, so we're number 8. This is number 9 from me. To make money online, sell a simple product that's a household good that you use every single day. For example, I've been using this treadmill desk. It's right over there. I got one in each of my houses, so I got 3 or 4 of them, right? And I have them in my office. And I know a better way to improve them because I use them every day. So I'm working on a company. I'm going to basically get a manufacturer in China to make some adjustments. I'm going to make my own. I found out I can do it with a minimum manufacturer of only 20. So it's not going to cost me that much to launch the business. And because I use it every day, it's a common household item for me, I have insight into it. So think somebody said, CB's End Zone said, sell toilet paper. You laugh about that, but what's that ad on YouTube for that one company that has the thing that makes, after you go to the bathroom, makes it smell better? What's that one company? There's this company, they literally have the funniest viral commercials on YouTube, and it's a simple household item. It's like after you go to, you go to somebody's house, you don't want to stink it up. There's like a girl, you're at your girl's house, you just met, and you're like going in the toilet, and then you destroy it. So it's this commercial showing somebody, they like do a spray. It's not Febreze. Yeah, Poopery. That's what it's called, Poopery. Dude, Poopery.
Right, I got my next business idea.
No, Poopery is making like, it's making like $50 million or something like that. So all of you laughing about this, they're laughing all the way to the bank. So don't sleep on these ideas. Find something you use. I'm wearing this jacket. I like glasses. I use this tripod to put my live cameras. I might sell this tripod setup. So there's money sitting in your room and you don't know how to sell it. Learn how to sell it. Amy said, I love those commercials, and I don't even like bathroom humor. Okay, take us away. Number 10 practical tip. Anything in life. It could be about you raising your son. It can be about you building a business that's done $40 million online. What's a practical tip somebody can take away and implement today?
Take advantage of the internet in the following way. Think about what changed with the internet. You can always buy ads. Mm-hmm. Have you ever been reading a book in real life? Maybe people don't do that anymore, and wish you could do a search for the book. You're like, where is this in that book? Or I just want to get to that. Of course you can't in real life, but you kind of have that for a second. There's something particularly new with the internet. There's a greater ease of communication. That's one huge difference in life. The other, I would argue, there's social media and so forth, but organic search, the idea that you type things into a search bar to find stuff, that literally couldn't exist before the internet. Mm-hmm. And you can't pay for it. This is the thing. No matter how much your advertising budget is, no matter how much you spend, with many businesses, 8 out of 10 of your customers are going to find you organically, not even through social media, by the way. They're going to it depends on the niche, but they're going to type in something in what amounts to Google or Amazon or something like that. And the only possible way to reach those people is through organic search. Mm-hmm. The vast, vast, vast majority of entrepreneurs wave their hand at it. They're intimidated. Google tries to intimidate you out of it, mm-hmm. and you simply can beat large corporations. One person, one guy, or a woman, can beat out people and win. And you can get that organic traffic, and someone's coming to you. It's totally different if you put a paid ad, and I believe in paid ads. But if with a paid ad, you're like going to them, right? Mm-hmm. It's like walking up to a girl and hitting on them. But if she comes to you somehow, then your initial framing, not only if you think 8 out of 10 girls can be reached that way, plus the framing is better when they pop in. So you absolutely don't need to ignore it. Most everyone's intimidated out of it. I call it like an illusionary wall.
Yep.
And we break that intimidation for you, and it doesn't need to exist. We've been doing it for 5 years. I've been doing it personally for about 10 or 12 because I had a breakthrough at one point where I just realized, my gosh, like we were trying to do a launch, trying to get affiliates. It wasn't working out very well. We put something on YouTube, ranked it naturally, and that it was just an unbelievable breakthrough. And then it continued from there.
So all of you listening, don't just buy ads. Also make sure when people type in words around the business that you pop up, whether it's your personal name, whether it's, you're selling, like I said, you're selling Poopery. When people type in, toilet fresheners, you want your business to pop up. Now we're going to put a link. What's the link for people that want your free training on the SEO? Because it's kind of like you need.
I think you have it on your website. I think tailopez.com/OMG, which stands for One Man Gang. OMG.
Not oh my God. Doesn't stand for oh my gosh.
Yeah, not oh my gosh. But that's of course a fun, double meaning, right? We have a little bit of fun with our stuff. We have some kind of fun custom art that's a little bit tongue in cheek or fun.
So TaiLopez.com/OMG. Go sign up. It's a free training. You don't have to put a credit card in or anything like that. And they're going to show you a practical way to start ranking for what you want. All right, I'm going to give away this iPad. Where is the iPad? Oh, here it is. So I'm going to pick one of the 10 practical tips that we just did in this short speed round. We didn't quite make 18 minutes. We did 24 minutes. Someone said, David is the man, Alex Matos said.
Oh, thank you.
Somebody said, where do you store your extra money? The bank. Marlia Rosette asked.
Yeah, I save it. I got it. Oh, annuities.
and all right. Somebody said, dude, you're not reading any of my questions. I love when people are surprised that we get like 3,000 comments and people are like, wait, how could you possibly miss mine? We live in a very narcissistic society that can't imagine that possibly I just didn't see your comment. Okay. Here is the question. Who's been paying attention? Oh, I got to remember. Oh, yeah. How many teachers did David have to hire for his 5-year-old son to learn Chinese because they didn't get it? What was the number? How many teachers
did I have to go through?
Did you have to go through? I'm going to pick the fourth person. You can't see. Hey, let me hold up your fingers so I can see it because I can't remember what you said. I'm going to cover it so they can't see it. How many? How many teachers?
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
And then.
Yep. Okay. I see the answer. All right, here we go. Next one I see YouTube, I see Instagram. Someone said 6, 18. Someone said, what we got? Facebook. Let me let Facebook catch up for a second because Facebook's always like laggy here. Twitter, what do we got? All right, here we go. Now everybody's caught up. I'm closing my eyes. Zach, tell me when to stop.
Stop.
All right, we're going to YouTube. David Edo, 15 is the number. He had to hire 15 teachers before they would stop speaking English to his kids so he could have full immersion. Immerse
and
yourself.
Stop teaching lessons and just play with them like
they were teaching lessons. Remember, I hope you will take one of these practical things, whether it's build a ClickFunnels Shopify site, even if it's not, you don't know what to build. Just learn the skill. Whether it's learning to pace yourself as you speed read by using your hand and slowly moving down the page. Whether it's learning that the best way to learn a language is hire somebody who comes to your house, ideally somebody maybe you want to date. Just make sure that doesn't get weird, okay, with the hiring thing. But better hire somebody and tell them just walk around with me in my house and speak to me in that language. If you want to learn Portuguese.
It could just be someone you vibe with, that you just kind of
someone you get along with.
People that we naturally kind of like,
So I hope one of these 10 practical tips in this short radio podcast will help you. And David, thanks so much for being here. Next time I'm going to have you on, we're going to get into more how you made $40 million with your company. I decided to do a little practical speed thing. And I'm over here watching Kyrie Irving, by the way. I'm multitasking because I got the Laker game on. Kyrie Irving is nasty. He is, this dude's fast. All right. We'll talk to you soon, David.
You want to tease how much I spent initially to invest to start that $40 million business?
How much?
I think it was a few hundred. I guess, to be honest, it might have been about 1,500. We got 5 pieces of kind of fun custom art, 3 pieces for 500 each. But
so you spent $1,500 invested
I guess hosting was
to build $40 million company.
Yeah.
So they'll be talking about that on TaiLopez.com/OMG also. All right, guys. Right. I got to go. I'm flying back to LA from San Diego. I got to stop in and meet my 99-year-old grandma. So I'm out. Talk to you guys soon.